Welcome to English Through History. If you like the content, please subscribe or leave us a review. It helps us to create more content and is appreciated by our small team here. We hope you enjoy today's episode. During this year, a most dread portent took place, for the sun gave forth its light without brightness, and it seemed exceedingly like the sun in eclipse, for the beams it shed were not clear. Men were free neither from war, nor pestilence, nor any other thing leading to death. This quote came from Roman historian Procopius in 536 AD, and is referring to a devastating event that occurred during this year that had long-lasting effects on many societies in the West and beyond. This event, and the topic of today's episode, is known as the Dark Event of 536. At this time, the skies darkened for an incredible 18 months. The sun dimmed, and a strange fog rolled over the land, causing crop failures, dramatic temperature drops, and preceded a period of famine and mass casualties. Quickly following this event, plague and yet more natural disasters occurred, which led to many historians dubbing this time as the worst time for humans to be alive. In today's episode, we'll explore what the event was, why it happened, and the consequences on the civilizations of the time. The darkening of the skies and the extreme weather phenomena that characterized the year 536 can be attributed to a combination of natural factors, including volcanic activity and changes in solar radiation. Multiple sources suggest that a massive volcanic eruption took place, releasing an enormous quantity of ash, dust, and aerosols into the atmosphere. Historians cannot know for sure, but there are several theories as to the most likely causes. The first one is the eruption of the Ilopango volcano in present-day El Salvador. This eruption would have been so colossal that it would have caused an immediate and substantial impact on global climate patterns. Alternatively, a volcanic eruption in present-day Iceland could have easily caused enough environmental disturbance to lead to the effects stated. The giant volcano Krakatoa in modern-day Indonesia was also suggested, although later testing has thrown doubt on this. As well as volcanoes, there was also mention of an extraterrestrial event, a meteorite that struck the Earth, and this is known as an impact event. But again, the evidence for this being a volcanic event is much more likely, although an impact event that can't be ruled out either. Whatever the cause, the immense amount of debris ejected into the atmosphere would have led to a widespread darkening of the skies. Reports from varying regions describe the sun appearing as a dim, bluish disk, or even as a faint whitish glow. This reduced sunlight would have resulted in a significant drop in temperatures across the globe. Historians and scientists estimate that average global temperatures decreased by several degrees Celsius, leading to a climatic anomaly known as a volcanic winter. Scientists that study dendrochronology, the study of tree rings, confirmed that almost overnight, temperatures dropped rapidly in Europe and the Middle East and as far away as China. Such a dramatic event would confirm that some sudden, catastrophic event took place. Later eruptions in 540 and 547 AD meant a prolonging of this little ice age that stretched for decades afterwards. The consequences of the darkened skies and the volcanic winter were far-reaching. Crop failures were widespread due to shortened growing seasons and reduced sunlight. With the shortened growing seasons, reduced sunlight, and colder temperatures, the lack of food production led to famine, food shortages, and skyrocketing prices. This affected both rural and urban populations. The resulting hunger and malnutrition contributed to increased mortality rates and weakened immune systems. Historical records from different regions, including Europe, Asia, and the Americas, document the devastating impact on agriculture and the subsequent social and economic upheaval. Roman sources state that the seasons were indistinguishable from each other, and that the sun was so weak that a person could not see their own shadow. Irish annals reported bread production had all but ceased. Chinese and Middle Eastern sources reported crop failures and a strange fog-like event and snow even in summer. Sources from Peru reported drought and crop failures affecting the people and the cultures of the time. In addition to the agricultural crisis, the ecological balance was disrupted due to the prolonged cold temperatures. Plants, animals, and ecosystems struggled to adapt to the unusual conditions. The disrupted climate patterns and colder temperatures affected flora and fauna. Reports indicate that the trees shed their leaves prematurely, migratory birds experienced disrupted patterns, and some animal species suffered declines in population size. The delicate interplay of species and ecosystems was profoundly disturbed, causing long-lasting consequences for biodiversity. The long-term impact on ecosystems and the subsequent recovery took years, if not decades, to unfold. The social impact of the dark event cannot be underestimated. The widespread famine and food scarcity led to increased social unrest, migration, and conflict. Desperate populations competed for dwindling resources, exacerbating political and economic instability. The weakened states struggled to respond effectively, resulting in the collapse of some societies and the rise of others. Desperate populations, unable to sustain themselves, resorted to looting, theft, and violence. Famine-induced riots and conflicts erupted in various regions, exacerbating political issues. Moreover, many people were forced to leave their homes in search of food and better conditions, and this was resulting in a significant migration flows. The dark event of 536 also had cultural and psychological ramifications. Historical records from different regions describe a sense of doom, despair, and spiritual crisis. The dramatic change in weather patterns challenged established belief systems and led to the reinterpretation of religious and mythological frameworks. The event's influence on art, literature, and cultural expressions can be seen in various forms across different societies. The drastic change in weather patterns challenged existing belief systems and cultural norms in many ways. Religious interpretations and mythological frameworks were re-evaluated and transformed, creating new and darker iterations and prompting apocalyptic doomsayers to appear more frequently. The psychological toll of enduring prolonged darkness, famine, and uncertainty left a profound mark on the collective consciousness of affected societies, and this influenced art, literature, and cultural expressions of the time. Although eventually the climate changes were restored, the dark event serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of human societies to extreme climatic events and highlights the interconnectedness of environmental factors with various aspects of human life.